Welcome to the AO Glass Studio. I rent equipment time from this small glass factory when I want to make anything out of hot glass. During the work week, they are making production glassware and custom lighting with a large glassblowing team. It's a busy shop, but the furnace is always running to keep the glass melted, so artists like me come in and rent outside of factory hours. I bring all my own tools and glass color when I come to the studio to rent. Since glass is too hot to touch, we use metal, wood, and paper to shape the 2000 degrees furnace glass. While working in the glass shop, I may be shaping glass in a variety of ways. In the heat of the furnace, the glass changes color. You will not see the true greens and yellows of this glass until it's fully cool a day later. Another very old hot process is glass casting. For this process, I'm using sand as the mold for the molten glass to fill. The glass captures the texture of the bark pressed into the sand beforehand. Shaping the glass hot is just one part of the process. I usually add other materials to the glass once it's cooled. The most common process in a glass studio is blowing glass, which is shaping a hollow bubble on the end of a metal pipe. My work uses pieces of wood as molds to create the shape of the bubble, but this is the same process you would use to make a vase or a glass bowl. A lot of my work is clear glass, which is the glass straight out of the furnace. To make a specific color, you add colored glass on top of the furnace glass. Color can be added as frit, the size of sugar, or powder, more like flour, or melted bar. When using frit or powder, as you see here, you roll the clear glass in the color. The powder can stick to the clear glass because of how hot it is, and then you heat it up again to melt the powdered color into the surface. Different colors can be layered on the surface, can also gather clear glass in between each layer of color to add more designs and textures. Whether working with clear or colored glass, when the glass is hot, all of it will look orange. There are many subtle variations of orange to see, and glassblowers can tell how hot the glass is at any given moment based on this color. Many glassblowers work in pairs or on teams to have someone blow air into the bubble while another person shapes the bubble. Here you see me working alone and using a long hose to blow air while I shape. Sometimes I have the wonderful opportunity to make colorful glass creatures from student drawings. It always makes me smile to put eyeballs on a glass form. All work must go into a kiln that we call an annealer to be annealed overnight. This makes sure the glass cools slowly and does not get stressed out. If glass is left out at room temperature, it will break within a few minutes. After I gather my finished work out of the annealer, all my work in the glass shop is complete and I come back to my personal studio. Welcome to my studio room. There's a lot that happens in the studio. As I take you around, you can see there is a lot of artwork on the walls, some finished, some unfinished and in progress. I have a kiln in my studio that's for glass fusing. Here I cut flat, cold glass to make tiles. Surfaces are very important for spreading out artwork, for experimenting, so I have lots of tables and shelves that usually get filled with artwork. These shelves in the back display artists' work that I've been collecting. I also have a print area for screen printing. This back room is dedicated to, well, it also has a lot of tools hung up and tons of packing materials, but it is dedicated to clay. I have a slab roller, a pottery wheel, and a glazing area. Many of my installations are made out of glass, but I do consider myself a mixed media artist and use many different sculpture materials, hence all the areas of my studio. On any given day, you can find me finishing an installation, packing orders, prepping lesson plans, and always experimenting on something new. My studio also becomes a personal gallery of work waiting to go to a gallery or find a new home. I'll show you some pieces up close. I like to install pieces in progress to look at them, problem solve, make changes. Not much of my work is stored in boxes until it has another place to go. I'm very much inspired by shapes and patterns in nature, so I find myself bringing a lot of natural elements into the studio. As you can see, there are dried plants everywhere. Here is a new piece where I incorporated textiles. The background is woven wool with glass pieces attached on top. And this is some old work from my college years that I keep hung up because it still pushes me to think of new ways to work with glass and color. And finally, here is a work in progress as I experiment with glass fusing. Thank you for visiting my studio today.